Hello, hi, how are you? My name is Anthony Perrier and I have been a professional automotive YouTuber for 5 or 6 years now. I admit it's a pretty cool status. The problem is that when I tell you that professional automotive YouTuber, who do you think of? You think of GMK. You see him coming with his, what does he have? Crazy cars, he shows up and you think this guy is a millionaire, this guy is loaded, damn. You see Boisry coming and you think, wow, he's loaded. You see me coming, bro, what do you think? Do you think this guy is loaded? This guy is a millionaire? No. No, I show up with my 406 and my Hitman look from the 70s. No, that doesn't work. So I won't lie, those kinds of assumptions annoys me a little. In 2025, image matters, you need to look clean. I bought a Mercedes. 2015, Mercedes E-Class full intelligent LED matrix lighting, brand new automatic transmission, dual clutch gearbox, clutch, leather interior and heated seats. The image is already a bit more upscale. But since I don't have the means of Boisry or GMK, I bought a car at auction for 4,700 euros. Why? How? It's a former taxi with 530,000 kilometers, so we're not quite at the millionaire image yet. So the goal of this video is going to be to make this car desirable and above all to make people think it's worth a lot of money. To do that, there are a whole bunch of things to do, a whole bunch of things to modify and do to the car, and first we're going to start by repairing the car. We left off in the last episode with a broken down car, and I have to admit it's a bit annoying. So the first step is to go say hello to Vartan at Auto HV to finally fix our problems. Hello, Vartan. Hi. So this one stayed at your place then, right? Yeah.
I love it.
I took apart the pump. We're going to test it live to see if it works, at least to understand. But I think it's already been replaced. When you look here, it's a Bosch. You said you don't like Bosch.
I don't like Bosch.
So instead we have a Speyerbird. That's better, yes.
Yes, I never have any problems. We use Banagher valves. We put a lot of electronic things from that brand.
No problem.
It works very well.
Good.
So here, I plugged it in here.
Ah, it's working? Yeah, now it's working.
Yeah, but well, it's like last time actually. We lowered it from the lift. It works, yes.
Yes, but this time when I tried, it didn't start.
We put in the new one and we started.
These cars have 2 in-tank pumps for the 2 small tanks instead of 1 large one. As you saw, it's not complicated.
Yeah, no, Vartan said something really smart there. I said, that's strange,
The pipes are inside the tank. Because actually, in my opinion, well, according to Vartan, but it's possible I must have removed the pump that sends to the other tank.
We only have one outlet, that's it. There's no return line.
No, underneath there and there.
Yes, but it happens inside. So the tank.
However,
This isn't the one that sends fuel to the engine.
actually it's a tank, but it has 2 compartments. Alright, well, I'm going to take apart the second pump and we'll see the difference.
The wiring harness is very small, like there's only a level sender.
There's no big 12-volt power lead. Sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know.
Let's take a look there.
It's different here. The pipes are outside and there's a small connector on it.
Yo, it's me, the voiceover. I know some of you didn't miss me, but I have to step in or you won't understand anything. As usual, Anthony didn't have his mic, so we can't hear Vartan explaining the trash taxi problem. After changing one of the 2 pumps, the car still wouldn't start. They spent some time trying to figure it out. Anthony will explain in the next segment, after returning from the inspection. We've got to make him work a little too.
Alright, the inspection is done. I'm really happy. So, to sum up this fuel pump thing, it's actually pretty simple. Actually, on the C-Class models, but you already understood this because we explained it with Vartan, it's that with the drive shaft running down the middle of the car, along with the exhaust system and everything, the fuel tank is split into 2 parts. So, it goes up like this, around the transmission tunnel. And actually, well, the diesel is drawn from both sides by a single pump that's on the passenger side. Since the pump was worn out and seizing, it sometimes stopped while driving. However, the high-pressure pump still had to draw a little due to the needed pressure. That meant it emptied on one side only. We just needed a new pump and to refill the tank so diesel reached everywhere. The balance would then fix itself. So, keep an eye on it, but normally it should be fine. Anyway, all that to say that today we're going to start tuning the B-Class. Yeah, because tuning is super important. So of course, first of all, we're going to install an Android head unit, Apple CarPlay, whatever you want. Even though the Mercedes audio and multimedia system is great, I can connect my phone via Bluetooth, control everything from the steering wheel, play music and skip songs on Spotify. What I really want is Apple CarPlay. Why? Well, to have messages, contacts and all that stuff natively on the car's original screen. Right now I already have the phone number and all that, and that's already very good. But I'd like to have something a bit more plug and play, you know, something that's a bit more in sync with the phone. I have an iPhone, so. And above all, I'd like to have Waze directly on the screen, but that's not possible with the original screen. Apple CarPlay only came with the next generation. So I went to the best site to find car stereos for Mercedes or really any other car, AliExpress. Well, this isn't an unboxing video or a sponsored one, AliExpress or whatever, I don't care. I just typed Mercedes W212 on AliExpress and I found a car stereo that suited me. So you have to be careful. If you have a car like this, there were 3 generations of multimedia systems on the W212 and they're not all the same. So this kit is the one with 6 GB of RAM and the maximum memory. Basically, given the price, I went for the biggest one. Because you see, if we were talking about a big audio equipment brand, it might have been twice the price. It cost me 206 euros. And what's pretty cool is that, you see, it comes with this thing here, which is exactly the shape of the original radio. That allows you to really have a screen as if it was there from the factory. And that's really very cool. Well, let's see. Here we go with the installation of this thing. This is not a tutorial at all. Far from it. I think I'll even show you the disassembly and assembly in a time-lapse. But at least I'll tell you if it's good or not, and whether you should do this mod or not. And so, for the screen, we've got a screen that's much bigger than the original one. This one is 10 inches. It's basically a real tablet. It's bigger than an iPad. And I think it could look really cool. I didn't want something too big so it wouldn't mess up the vibe of the car too much. But I think this is the right balance. Somewhere between the OEM look and the look of the next generation, which already had the big central screen. Well, maybe you saw it in the time-lapse, it works. But what you didn't see in the time-lapse is that it only works partially. So I can get the screen to work, I have CarPlay, Waze, all that. It's really cool. But I don't have any sound and the original controls don't work. So I told Vartan, no, that's a problem, that's not good. I didn't order the right one. He said, yes, my friend, no problem. Come and I'll explain. Let's go see Vartan again. What? I'm going to get a subscription?
Huh? Did you plug it in?
No, I mean I plugged it in properly. Honestly, no.
Are you sure, actually?
Vatan told me it wasn't plugged in. That's true, I had just put it down. Yeah, I actually had that, no signal.
Now it's official.
I'm an asshole. And now...
Let's see what happens. I click on it and now normally...
And there you go. Yeah, the original control is working again.
And then...
Then the music. Well, actually, we just had to drive 10 kilometers so Vartan could plug in the connector.
Well, we should set up a camera. And so Vartan saved me again. Goodbye.
Yes, so I know that for some people turning a Mercedes that's not an AMG into an AMG is heresy. Burn it at the stake. No, yeah, I can understand that. And actually, I have a subscriber who sent me a classified ad for a C63 AMG W205. And he said to me, hey, tell me, could you run a car vertical check on this listing? I want to know a bit more about it because it scares me, it's not very expensive. As you know, I've worked with car vertical for years. So I thought to myself, why not, from time to time, check out vehicles that subscribers could send me directly on Instagram with a license plate or a chassis number on anthony.pdlv. That's my Insta. Sometimes we could feature them in TikTok or Instagram videos. Feel free to send me chassis numbers and license plates so we can check them out together. So the subscriber in question actually sent me the ad for this C63S AMG, and right away when you look at the car vertical report for the car, honestly it's not very good. When you get to the title check, it says that the car was classified as salvage in February 2023, so that's barely 2 years ago. And indeed, when we look at the photos, we realize that the car was classified as salvage for a reason. Salvage means basically it's considered a total loss in the United States. And yeah, indeed, as we scroll through the photos, we can clearly see that there was a very big impact, even though it has low mileage, only 70,000 miles, which is about 100,000 kilometers. So the car was pretty nice, all black.
But yeah, here.
Completely wrecked. And when we look at the vehicle's timeline, we can clearly see that the car was manufactured in 2016, and in 2020 it ended up in the United States. In 2023, so only 3 years later, it was damaged, it was resold, put up for sale, and then it passed a vehicle inspection in July 2023 in Lithuania. The car returned to Europe, and a few months later, in 2024, it ended up being sold and registered in France. So, I imagine that now it's back on the sales platforms. And then, our dear subscriber came across it. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't buy it, but I think it's always interesting to know what happened before you buy a car, especially a C63. After all, it's quite expensive. By the way, Car Vertical tells us here that the average market value is 50,820 euros. So, having seen the ad, yes, this one is slightly cheaper, but still, I think it's always cool. And then, it gives you a little room to negotiate if you still want to buy that car. So anyway, if you're interested, don't hesitate to check out Car Vertical because I'm giving you the promo code PDLV for 20% off all your reports. Alright, back to the video. Anyway, I can't afford to buy a real AMG.
In his quest to swap his image from a 70s hitman to that of a rushed nouveau riche, this huge show-off, Anthony quickly did what any E-Class owner wants to do after buying their not-so-sporty station wagon. Add sporty tinted windows.
Touchdown, buzzer beater, do it all now, ball now, top corner, talking home run, touchdown, buzzer beater, do it all now, ball now, top corner, like...
But you should know that chronologically speaking, I didn't start with tinted windows. I started with big rims. Because a millionaire would never drive with two 16-inch rims on an E-Class 63S. First of all, that doesn't exist. And secondly, what millionaire drives with 16-inch rims no matter the car? So without thinking twice, I went on Le Bon Coin, typed in Mercedes rims and bought the first ones I really fell in love with. It was this model. And this model is really stylish. Honestly, look at that. The front is diamond cut and the inside is anthracite gray. It's not too sporty, it's not too aggressive, but damn, it's stylish. And I have a great story to tell you about these rims. Basically, since I was super impulsive with absolutely 100% of the choices I made on this project, I was obviously impulsive with this choice too. I found them on Le Bon Coin. They were an hour away. I drove an hour. I arrive at this small kind of rundown place with some sketchy guys. They say to me,
"Do you want to try them on your car?"
Of course. I tried them on my car on the driver's side. Obviously, we have a different width at the front and at the back because, well, a rich guy drives a V8, so he has very wide wheels in the back and pretty wide ones in the front. So in the front, they're 225, and in the back, 255. And believe me, when he puts the car down, I see it and I go, wow, that's what I need. So I give him 900 euros, and I'm super happy. We put all 4 rims on the car. I lost 70 horsepower because they're really, you won't believe me, but extremely heavy. I think in my whole life, I've never had rims this heavy in my hands. And, well, I go back to Valence and I'm super happy. That same evening, I go to the car wash and I look at my car. It looks awesome. But it looks like a shock absorber is bent or a control arm is bent or there's a real problem because the 2 front rims don't sit the same way. One is flush with the fender and the other is set in by about 1 centimeter. It's really weird, I measure. Hugo measures. Uzimeka 26. Everyone is certain these are not the same rims on the left and right. I call the seller back and he tells me that I'm a liar. Of course, I take off the rims. I take a picture of the inside of both rims. And on one it says ET35 and on the other it says ET45. He tells me that's not possible. Clearly I don't want to drive 2 hours again just to argue with a guy. All that just for him to tell me no.
I don't care. Everyone deals with their own shit.
So I went online and I found exactly the same model but brand new and in a box. So, it's not a big deal, but still, we're already at 1,150 euros for the wheel. At that price, I realized I could have gotten 4 brand new rims with the specs I wanted and 4 new tires. That's how you learn. So kids, when you end up in a kind of shady garage and the guy seems way too nice, well, sometimes it's just too weird, and usually a millionaire doesn't get fooled like that. It's only the guys with a tight budget and who are really impulsive with their purchases who get fooled. Usually those guys aren't millionaires, but hey, it's not a big deal. We're going to put the rims on the car and I'm sure it's going to be perfect. We need to swap the tire because that's where the correct offset is. Not the other one.
Anthony will talk to you about these rims later in the video, but in the meantime, there's something he hasn't
told you about my taxi, which has 530,000 kilometers. Why are you looking at me like that? Actually, I've been driving it for 8,000 kilometers now, and I drive a lot. You can't even imagine. You can imagine since I said I've done 8,000 kilometers with it, but out of those, at least 2,000 were in limp mode because the particulate filter is clogged. Each time you borrow a better diagnostic tool from a friend because yours is low quality and then you tell your car it has a new DPF. Congratulations, you're good for at least another 300 kilometers of peace. Then bam, limp mode again. And it's like I'm always stuck driving a 206 HDI with 68 horsepower. Honestly, it doesn't move at all in limp mode, even though it's twin turbo. I didn't know that. So, the most obvious, easiest and cheapest solution was to pour some product into the DPF and do a forced regeneration. The problem is, since I'm a complete idiot, what did I do? I emptied a can of DPF cleaner into my catalytic converter. Because I thought the catalytic converter in the middle of the car was the DPF. But no, the DPF is right after the twin turbos. So I thought, alright Nick, second solution, let's find a downpipe. This one is really cool. A subscriber found it for me. Really nice. I'm very happy. The problem is, it doesn't fit my E-Class. It's made for C-Class, and I have an E-Class S212, it's not compatible. So I thought, you know what, this is starting to annoy me. So what I'm going to do is take out the particulate filter. It was a real pain. I wanted to film it. Then I deleted the footage because I thought it wasn't interesting. But in the end, once it was done, I realized it actually was interesting. I hired a professional because I didn't want to use oven cleaner or other chemicals on the lawn that could contaminate groundwater. I told myself I'd take it to a professional who has a real machine with water that gets recycled and so on, and he just called me like 2 minutes ago and he said, no, your DPF is dead, it's broken. Yes, it was staged. You should absolutely never empty a catalytic converter or a particulate filter or anything like that. Of course, I didn't do it, and I strongly advise anyone against doing it. Well, anyway, now I bought a new DPF. Here it is. It's completely brand new and much lighter than the old one. I'm going to reinstall it on my vehicle now. Okay, I've installed the new DPF. I've installed the DPF. I suggest we start the car together, and I think the sound is going to be a bit nicer. Because, you know, it's that famous boomer joke, the crappy one we've all seen on Facebook.
Having a catalytic converter on a turbo engine is a bit like farting with a finger up your ass.
No, the sound, damn the sound, no.
Wow, that's a wild sound. I didn't expect a DPF delete to make it that loud. Forget it, Ben.
Perfect. It's running. I already noticed more torque. I haven't checked yet, but I think I'm using less fuel, which is great. No warning lights for now. I'm really happy. Back to the video.
It turns out I was wrong. The car is actually in limp mode.
More.
Damn. Well, we had no choice. In the end,
We had to go see JC. Hello, JC.
I'll ask for 12. Yeah, that's good. I am the Lord.
It's okay, and everything. Yeah, it's okay because, you know, DPF emptied. The car says, oh dear, what's happening? Problem. So you have to tell the car that there's no more DPF and no more differential pressure. Well, no, sorry. No. You have to tell the car that there's a new DPF because we're not allowed to remove the particulate filter. It's forbidden in the car. Forbidden. Well, I told you. That's what I'm telling you.
We replaced the old DPF with a new one and are now doing a relearning procedure. I have the new DPF.
very, very simple.
Once the car was quickly tinted, big rims, the DPF fixed, only then could we start with the serious stuff that really makes everyone believe I'm a millionaire. The E63S AMG kit. Now it's stylish, since it's not just a €4,700 car anymore. Regular people already assume it's a €25,000 car, because it's still a Mercedes. At this point, regular people still think it's a €25,000 car because it's still a kind of weird station wagon. But the enthusiasts, they say, wow, this guy has a €200,000 car, and the real experts...
They say, he has really tiny brakes, doesn't he? Well...
Right now, I have the pro forma invoice in front of me, so I don't really know what that means, but I have it here from Tolias Edition, and I'm really happy. I'm about to send €2,035 to Greece, and I swear to you, I'm really happy. Are you happy too? I just arrived at Vartan's place. He received a little package that's a bit special, just a little bit special. So, you get it anyway, there's no secret. You saw the video thumbnail, that's the goal.
good. I tried to help and I could. Don't need that, yeah, I'm good, yeah.
This is the last time I'll see it like this. Tomorrow we'll return to check the progress and keep monitoring the car's prep. This time I want a nice car, I won't spray paint it myself. Today we have Hugo's 316 E-Taxi. No, I'm joking, it's a big 330D stage 102, I really don't get any of it.
The car is going to look great.
It's been a few days now since the Mercedes has been at the body shop, more precisely at MVA in Valence. He's a body shop guy who knows what he's doing since he was recommended to me by Vartan. He's actually the one who repainted his Brabus G-Class, so yeah, I think we can trust him, so don't hesitate, okay? If you need anything, I'll put the links just below. MVA in Valence, but anyway, I think we'll have more reasons to talk about them since, well, we're going there in a few minutes. And we're going there simply because I dropped off the car fully assembled, and now it's time to go see the car completely taken apart. To bring him all the body parts, he'll need to repaint, excuse me. It'll take 2 or 3 minutes since I stored them on the mezzanine. Especially the bumper, the side skirts, but also, and most importantly, all the small parts that will have to be repainted in glossy black, because yes, it's still an E63S. It needs to be somewhat aggressive. If you haven't seen my mezzanine, it has a bar, 3D printer, my schedule, a living room, and the office space. I'll show it to you because you won't see this very often. This is actually where I prepare all your orders, where I make your stickers, and by the way, if you're interested in supporting the channel and all the projects, I'll put the link just below. I have a shop called Perrier Citron, perriercitron.fr, where I sell t-shirts, stickers, beanies, and so on, so that's a little boost and it makes me happy. But actually, when I say the car is going to be a real replica of the E63S, I mean I even went through the trouble of ordering the fenders with the embossing on the side that says V8 Biturbo. So don't worry, no, we're not gonna write V8 Biturbo, but we'll have to find something funny to put on the fender to make it clear that it's just for fun. And by the way, I haven't explained to you where I got all these amazing accessories for my Mercedes E-Class. Basically, my whole kit comes from someone named Tolias Editions, he's a guy. Well, it's actually a company that's based in Greece and offers replica parts for a ton of cars. BMW, Audi, Mercedes, Renault, Peugeot, I don't know, there are millions of things. They're not exactly sports replicas, there are all sorts of tuning parts. Anyway, I got this in Greece and it was inexpensive. It didn't cost me that much, since the complete kit, and I mean really complete. For the car, including the rear diffuser, fenders, side skirts, body panels, front bumper, grille, all accessories, bumper ends, and undercarriage parts, since the bumpers are different. I got some small chrome protectors, the exhaust tips, the grand total, delivery included, cost me 2,300 euros. So yes, it's a lot of money, but when you see the car at the end, you'll say, okay, it was definitely worth it. So for the front bumper, here we have the front splitter, the side skirts, front splitter in glossy black, the side skirts in body color, the little claws on the side of the bumper, the grills, the license plate holder, and yeah, there's absolutely everything. I'll do an unboxing for you once everything is painted and installed on the car, since right now you don't really realize how much there is and everything is matte black, so it looks a bit ugly. Well, that's it. I've now loaded our entire AMG kit into the 406. The only part that wasn't offered for sale at Tolias Edition was the rear bumper. I mean, they do offer them for sale on their website, but the owner kindly explained to me that the replica rear bumpers for the wagon just don't exist. He told me to find a used one at a junkyard since it would be cheaper. Big shout out to them, that's really cool. So I found this on a very well-known website that brings together junkyards from all over Europe, since our partner Chatrex unfortunately didn't have an E-Class wagon with an AMG package. Yeah, that's pretty complicated. So this is just a rear bumper from an AMG kit on which we're going to put our rear diffuser with the 4 exhaust tips, no less. Alright guys, we just arrived at MV with the 406 that's full of parts, and right behind me, what do we see? The E-Class, the taxi, and right here. Wait, where did he go? Oh, he's here.
Hey guys.
Hi.
I'm the manager of the company.
Company manager? Wait, but you added a damn "the" before it.
You wanted, I didn't get it.
No, it's okay, I didn't get it. MBA guys in Valence, it's next to the Briffaud area for those who we're in...
The Briffaud area?
Briffaud East.
It's right by the dealerships. Come on, I'll show you your car.
All right here.
It's a bit stripped down.
A couple of things have already changed.
Yeah, that's it. We removed everything that needs changing, so we took off the front bumper and both fenders. Well, on the other side, you can't see it, but it's the same. On the other side, both rocker panels, the hood will be removed during the day. We took out the headlights so we could properly remove the bumper. Very important, you see there. Yes, that's going to be filled in, yeah.
Because that man is crazy, you know.
Hard.
Actually,
how he did it, but anyway, we'll be able to fix it.
That's the most important thing.
So there you go, half disassembled. Thanks for the parts. We're going to start reassembling, see how it goes, make the adjustments.
Get the panel gaps right. I know there are a couple of things to fix too on what I'm bringing you, like the rear bumper, it's used, everything else is new, but the rear bumper, yeah, it's used.
Yeah, but that's nothing to worry about.
The basics, you know, the usual stuff, yeah, body shops love that. And then, well, normally everything you need is there except for the hood, but like I said, normally Valentin will bring it.
No problem.
Since he has the veto.
Of course.
You're a bodywork specialist. Be honest, what do you think of my spray paint job?
For an amateur, it's magnificent.
He's joking. No, really, it's not.
It's very, very good for a spray can job.
Do you know how much it cost me? The whole thing, the full job? Tell me. 60 euros. For 60 euros, honestly.
For 60 euros, the result is perfect. Just to clarify, it's 60 euros.
See, you can tell I'm not a professional. Like here, you see, I welded the hooks right there at the base. I did it all wrong, but who cares, you know? It's a car that gets hit by branches and everything.
This thing is built for the desert.
Exactly. Normally, we won't get the same result as on this one. It might be a bit cleaner.
Not at all. We'll get an ultra clean result. You'll see. You'll notice the difference.
I thought it was single-stage paint, but you said it was a Mercedes.
Mercedes doesn't use single-stage paint on passenger cars. It's only on commercial vehicles that Mercedes uses single-stage paint.
Again, maybe on that, we actually don't know.
It may have a single-stage finish, but not from the factory.
It's definitely factory Mercedes.
If it hasn't been repainted, it's not direct gloss paint.
Okay, so actually, in this case, if you want to repaint the parts and everything, what do? Do you still use the Spectro?
We're going to use a spectrometer. That will let us get a color match at 99%. Well, 100% never exists, because it's a human doing the work, of course. But here we'll be at 99% color accuracy.
It'll be incredible. You don't like the color, but I think it stands out. We'll send the link.
I feel like I'm in Germany in a taxi.
Actually, but that's exactly it.
But that's why I'm telling you, cars in that color are German taxis. I'm really not a fan, especially of the station wagon.
And I love it. I only have station wagons. You see, I only have station wagons.
And the color even less. But like they say, there's no accounting for taste.
But the result?
It will be there.
You see, yeah, I think it's a good idea. Well,
we won't say too much, but there will be some nice finishing touches. We'll do the install and it will be visible afterwards.
Well, anyway, I'm really happy. Well, man, a big thank you to you. And then let's unload the stuff that's in the 406 and let's go.
But I can't wait.
Well, there you go. That's one good thing taken care of. It intrigues you, huh, Archie? You're intrigued, aren't you? So here are the things I won't need anymore. So if anyone's interested, just let me know. They'll be for sale really cheap. All is in excellent condition except for a small dent on the rear bumper where the dog is. Everything else is perfect. I just have a few little things to remove from these parts, like here, the rubber section on the front fenders that I'll need to put back on the new fenders. The sensors, of course, the rear and front parking sensors, I have to remove them and keep them. Vanek told me that I also need to remove this plastic piece here, which serves as a support where actually there are nuts that go through the body directly to attach the bumper. Other than that, I'm still going to keep these parts until everything is installed on the car, in case I need some small fasteners, little clips, things like that. Like this, for example, here. To attach the side skirt, I think I'm gonna keep it for now. I'm not sure if I have new ones, but anyway, I'm really happy. Société Canada.
Subtitles Canada.
Guys, it's time. You can see it behind me, the E-Class taxi is back at Auto HV. It just came out of the paint shop, so as you can see, that horrible hole on the tailgate is gone. Anyway, basically today the plan is to unload the car, bring it into Vartan's workshop, and then we start the really fun stuff because I have a lot of things to show you and I think it's going to be exceptional. Well, I think you just noticed we have a different hood. We have a ribbed, aggressive hood that shows we've got a V8 under the hood, very powerful like a real millionaire. And that's really the goal today, for the car to come out of Auto HV and for me to look like a millionaire. Except technically I have even less money than before because of course all this comes at a price. By the way, make sure to stay until the end of the video because I'll tell you exactly how much all of this cost me with every little modification I made to the car. Because I know that, after all, it's interesting. So, first of all, a huge thank you again to Vanek and his whole team at Garage MVA for the work they've done. First, let's take a look at what they've done to the car. So first of all, the hood was a must for me. It brings, well, I don't know if you can really tell on video, but it adds a really aggressive look. The craziest part is when you're inside the car, really when you're driving, you see that huge hood. It's really massive, those kinds of bulges, I don't know. And they also fixed the tailgate, and that was really important to me because the hole in the trunk was really disgusting. And look, there's nothing left. They did an amazing job. There was a big hole here, but now it's gone. It's well painted, very clean, smooth and straight. I'm really happy. The hole has disappeared. So that's already what we can mention about the car. And now I'm going to show you all the new parts we have and that we're going to install on the car because now they're painted. We're already going into the 406. I have the original fenders to get the clips here that are used to hold the bottom of the side skirts and the rubber parts, those kinds of protections. I took the fenders, at least I don't have to worry about it. And we also have the new rims, so the 5 new rims. We'll come back to that later. But the most interesting part is inside this vehicle. I'm handling this alone since Valtan is busy with paperwork and other annoying work tasks. Honestly, I don't know much about that, so how should I organize myself?
I'm going to take out the little sawhorses and I'm going to take out the bumpers.
Vartan, did you finish the annoying paperwork?
Yes.
Now it's time to have some fun and relax a little.
Yes.
That remains to be seen because while Valtan is very confident, as for me, there are a couple of things.
I love doing that.
Yeah, well, I know, so that's really cool. That's a rear diffuser 63 AMG. So how does it work? So for the plastic cover here...
Well, here, you have to replace it.
You have to. Do you have another piece or is there another piece to paint? Normally, right?
Where is the other one? Wasn't there another?
It clips in there actually. You must have a little thing to paint and then you clip it in. Oh yeah, the little piece that goes right there.
Well...
In the meantime, we'll start like this, we'll see later.
Yeah.
What you don't know is that we've already lost a bit of time because actually I opened the box with the grill and I thought sure enough there was no logo. We searched through the stuff and found this logo which works for now. It's not the right part number or shape, but it'll do for the video. We'll get the correct one later.
I think we shouldn't focus too much on the little details at the beginning. And now we should have the mounts for the tips. Damn. The tips, I wanted to show them to you, by the way. That's my favorite part.
Favorite part? This is really cool, this. This is very cool, but I'm not really sure they're allowed to
sell this.
You see, you've got the little AMG logo right there, so this gets attached to the bumper and then you put the exhaust line behind it. The advantage is that there's not really any adjustment needed for the exhaust. You see, you just need the line to line up. You might say, but Anthony, your diesel Mercedes has 1 tailpipe and here there are 4. Don't worry.
There you go. Now we're good, now.
Ah!
You see, you hear that. That's it. It's good, you know.
Diffuser screwed in, that's it.
What is it that comes from Omba in this way? What's it for? Well, so the bumper reacts. Well, yes.
Alright, so just to explain a bit what we did off camera, we reattached all the plastics, which was a bit annoying. We put in some nice little screws with nice little inserts. It's really not bad. And now, Valtan is installing the exhaust tip, one of the 2 exhaust tips. Does it look good or not?
Oh, it's magnificent.
It looks impressive though. So, if you haven't seen the latest videos where I show a bit of the garage and the cars in front of Auto HV, you should know that Vartan really likes Mercedes. And he really likes building and rebuilding Mercedes, so he doesn't say it much, but actually he's having a lot of fun. Have you ever done full AMG C-classes or E-classes like this C-class?
Yes, E-class, no, I mostly do G-class and S-class.
The big ones. Yes, the big ones, yeah.
But it's magnificent. We get bored every time.
Honestly, I'm not lying to you, I'm really happy right now.
When you see the result, every piece you add instantly shows a huge difference.
That's going to be very, very beautiful.
And it fits pretty well, huh? While Vartan is fighting.
With the exhaust outlets to make something really perfect, because I feel like he's even more meticulous than I am, well, I'm going to take care of installing the fenders, at least one of them anyway. So first, I got back that flexible plastic piece from the original fender. After that, normally it's not super complicated. Huh?
You can see here Anthony's unwavering enthusiasm to move this billionaire project forward. But since he's not very good, he still needs Vartan to fit the fender properly. What would we do without Vartan, huh?
There's a problem. The headlight is being touched. Is that normal? Yes, that's how it is. I want to move forward with you.
Yeah, but actually the problem, I see it here.
Really, you think so? Yes.
It's perfect so far, and from here we have a slight edge.
There, that's not good. What we're going to do?
We'll loosen the headlight, properly align the fender, fit it with the headlight, and check how it looks with the bumper. Because if the alignments aren't right, KMG or not, for me that's not acceptable. It won't leave the garage.
Well, as for the rear bumper, a few hours have passed because there were a lot of adjustments to make. And above all, actually, I think that when I installed my hitch, because yes, the taxi now has a hitch, which is actually going to be a problem for the bumper, but that's another detail. I had to move a bracket here that was used to hold the bumper and the tail light, and actually, everything was way too low, so it was impossible to put the bumper in the right place and we couldn't figure out why. I think we must have lost at least an hour on that, easily. So that's one thing, but at least now it's done. The fit is good and the whole thing looks really nice. So now, the only things left to finish at the back are the modifications to make room for the tow hitch, because right now, for pretty obvious reasons, it can't work. Maybe a small cutout in that spot. I'm not sure yet, but it'll be pretty discreet, which is good. And then I'll also need to modify the mounts here and here so the bumper doesn't move around. Attach it at the ends, all that stuff. That's it. It's going to be good. I think I've covered everything. I'm really happy with the rear bumper. However, there's one annoying little thing I forgot to mention. I haven't received that small piece yet, so for now, there's a big unpainted hole. That's a shame. We'll see. Either I just remake that little piece with 3D printing so it can clip on somewhere, I think that's possible, and then I'll paint it.
Or I find the piece, well, I don't know.
For now, I'm not really sure. So, well, there's a hole. Earlier, with Vartan, we also tinkered a little bit.
Under the fender?
It went pretty well in the sense that, well, it worked out. The difference with the original fender, I think I've already mentioned it, but it's just this embossing here. That's all. Was it really worth it? Yes. That's all. One fender test fitted, it's almost ready to be screwed in. We just had to unscrew the headlight a little to make some room and be able to make really precise adjustments. And so now we'll have to test fit the second fender, which is currently all the way at the back of the glass. Aluminum part. It's super light. By the way, most of the parts in this storage are made of aluminum. The hood, the fenders, the trunk, and maybe even the doors. The doors, they're aluminum. He doesn't know. Damn, I can't install it. I have to put the little rubber part there first. Plastic. So let's try not to mess everything up. Yeah, this one fits perfectly. Yeah, perfect.
There. Center it.
It's really not that bad. I can screw this one in by myself, no problem. Sometimes it goes badly, but other times you just put it in, screw it, and it's done. It's still an aftermarket part, so it won't ever be perfect. My fingers are covered in oil. I got it all over the brand new hood. I think that's what's covered in oil. Now it's starting to look good. And there you go. Vartan, magnificent. Haha, this is going to be exceptional. Now everyone will think I'm a real millionaire this time. Guys, as you just saw, I took off all 4 wheels. By the way, it made me realize that the original wheels are at least twice as light as the new ones, but that's okay, I had it tuned. This will help regain the power lost with the new rims. Meanwhile, Vartan is working on the front bumper. He's breaking it, breaking my stuff.
We're taking out the temporary supports they used until we reassemble everything.
This morning I went to see Vanek and he told me we could get the small, shiny black parts during the day, so that's pretty good. It's working out well since today is Friday and you're watching this on Sunday. Thanks to Constantine, the editor, for doing a great job.
We need to remove this. Clips. Yeah, basically, it was put there just to hold everything in place.
But that's all there is to it.
But
we have no choice.
No, not the hole inside, just this part here, because this is going to fit in here first.
And then we put it back.
It will go here. Also, there will be 4 screws in this direction.
All right.
So we do things step by step.
Very well.
I'll grab a screwdriver. We're going to have a great day.
Yes.
You'll see. The main thing is, there are no experts today. There's nobody you see. It's just us. There you go. That's good.
So, to answer the question, for everyone who's going to ask me, why don't you buy a real E63S AMG? Well, actually, there are a lot of reasons. The first reason is that I don't have 40,000 euros to spend on a car. 4,000 euros was just fine. And the second reason, especially, is that I wanted an everyday car that's economical. A 4-cylinder diesel, there's nothing better. It gets 6 liters per 100 kilometers, it's great. An E63S doesn't get 6 liters per 100 kilometers.
You can't drive it every day.
It's impossible. No, impossible.
Unless, yeah, you have a job that lets you fill up every day.
Oh!
It's starting to look good.
Yeah. Okay guys, the bumper. We can't make any more progress on it because we're missing the last few parts that Vanek hasn't given us yet. The glossy black pieces that will go on the front of the bumper. That's perfect timing. Our guest has just arrived. Well, little is relative. Hello, Clément. How's it going?
I'm good. So,
are you ready? I'm glad you're here. So, Your role today is very simple.
As usual, just the same as always.
Basically, you probably figured it out. Now that we have an E63 AMG bumper well, this one isn't good anymore, and we need to add a pipe that goes to the other side. Is that something you can handle? Yeah.
Otherwise, fake exhaust tips are fine too.
No, I don't like it. I don't want fake ones. Actually, I don't mind if they're fake exhaust tips. But in winter, when you start the car, smoke will come out there. I just want it to come out properly from everywhere.
Once you're driving, it's fine. Once it's done, it's done.
You see, I had imagined several solutions. The first one, of course, was to cut there and make two absolutely identical sections of exhaust pipe.
I think we're gonna cheap out on this for him.
It's not at all an E500 or an E350 or an E63.
No need for equal lengths or anything like that.
We don't give a damn, so yeah.
I think we'll do it. Take down those supports. I'm not sure what they're for, but you can just leave them down if needed. And we're going to make a connection at the elbow here.
It's here. That means making a hole here, right here.
Yeah, and have a connected tube coming out here. An elbow going into the 63 tips.
And after?
Remove this one from the ugly stock sill.
So that we really have a pipe?
You're going to gain 10 more kilos.
What? Really? Don't worry, I'll have you weigh the custom rims. They're at least 3 times heavier than the originals, so weight isn't an issue anymore. After that?
Maybe just another weld there and a piece of pipe and that's it.
Yes?
There will be, what, 4 or 5 welds to do.
And so, as a result?
It's going to be the preparation and yes, but I can prep the branch here.
I thought it was going to be a crappy job, but actually I think it's going to be one of the easiest things we've done together.
For once, let's not speak too soon, but once it's done...
But it should work. And there you go. If you really want to complain because it's a crappy idea, well, go ahead, it's not a problem. We take full responsibility. At least I do. Clay, I don't know, but I take full responsibility.
It's not my problem, it's my car.
No, but it's going to work. It's going to work just fine. So right now, the reinforcement bars are removed. Actually, under the car here and there, we had 2 big bars. At least, they're not there anymore.
That way we can take apart the exhaust, etc.
Much easier. Now we need to get the pipes. What do you think?
That's the next step. Ouch. So...
The pipes and elbows are in the 400.
406. And also, there you go.
Stainless steel in 60.3 in diameter, plus a bunch of elbows. So, we won't need as much for the project since we decided to do the small branch off. But in any case, a huge thank you to EAB Autosport for providing us with all this stuff. It's really great. So, don't hesitate to check out their website. They have a lot of things for making exhausts. So, it's not just tubing. Really, they have a ton of stuff, exhaust tips, etc, etc. And actually, it's not just exhausts either. So, a huge thank you to them for providing us with all this. Really cool.
Not much, really. 5 here, so 5 here.
This isn't the best angle I've ever seen in my life, but oh well. Thanks. Well done, well done. Another day where I don't do anything? And at least the job is well done. Alright, Clayton, the lamp is blinding you a little bit. Well, it's coming along pretty well. It's just the beginning. But actually, we're not doing too bad here. Stitching, marking.
We made the fishmouth cut as shown in the plans, test fitted it, marked it out, cut it, and tack welded it in place. Here we added the elbow and made a slight angled cut. Since it's slightly less than 90 degrees, come to this side and you'll see that
it's pressing against the bumper. Here we're centered between the 2 outlets.
Cutting some metal here and making a small bracket that will attach to the hitch.
Yeah, up there on the hitch bolts, it's easy.
Hold it in place. We'll weld 12mm stainless steel rod to the stainless part and steel to the steel part. That's good. Then we'll do the other side.
Subtitles by Jeremy Diaz. Subtitles by Jeremy Diaz. Subtitles by Jeremy Diaz. Subtitles by Jeremy Diaz.
Alright guys, we worked well yesterday. The bumper should be ready. Only the logo is missing, but that'll be the finishing touch. And most importantly, Clayton came yesterday with Biboch, hey Biboch, to make the rear half of the exhaust. It was pretty hard for me to film everything yesterday, so we're going to finish putting it all together today. And after that, I'll show you everything we've done once it's all finished. Are you ready, Vartan? Yes.
I'm leaving, but we've got your back. Remember that.
Install the bumper. This is the final step. Now the car is truly transforming.
That's it. This is where we actually see the result of the work.
Because the front bumper was really tough to make.
Go. This is the moment of truth. Yeah.
Be careful with the headlights and all that, I think.
There. Yeah. Well, you be careful with your fender too. Go ahead. Lift it up a bit. Lift it up, up, up. There you go. There you go. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's move forward a bit. Be careful. Hold on. It needs to go in properly.
Right? Hey, that's not bad. It's stuck on something inside.
No. Yes, that there. It must be inside. But looking at it like this,
It's too short.
looking at it like this, it'll never fit in.
At the body shop, they installed it easily when the bumper was bare, so I think something inside is blocking it here. It looks great and totally changes the car. Now we just need to install it correctly.
Let's leave it as is. Just a few tweaks.
Some glue. We're too close to perfection.
Just avoid braking too hard and you'll be fine.
Actually, the problem is that you shouldn't forget it's still a C-Class elegance. And we're putting on an AMG bumper. That means the bumper mounts and so on might be different. Wartan?
Yes.
It's looking really nice, though not finished yet. There are still things left, like the lower body panels. Timing is a bit complicated, so I'm going home. I'll do all that with you this afternoon. But for now, it's time for the very first startup with the custom exhaust system. Go ahead and start it. I'll go around to the back.
Go ahead.
Let's see if it changes the sound.
Are you ready? Yes.
Oh! Did you hear the little purr? It's a nice sound.
You know.
It's very subtle. It's perfect.
For us. While driving, it'll be even better.
Do you think it's going to make it vibrate a little? Yes, yes, yes.
Because it's different.
Now, it's really good.
The turbo kicking in and everything.
Okay, that's good. I just wanted something small, discreet, and I especially wanted both exhaust tips to be real. Now it's nice with smoke coming from both sides. Honestly, I'm a huge fan. Damn, it's beautiful. I still need to lower the car a bit. Like I said, I'll add the side skirts at home. I'm really happy. The rear...
Yeah, it is.
The rear, I think that's what I like the most.
Or the tires that stick out a bit on the sides.
Yeah, I think that's what I prefer. I prefer the rear. It completely changes the car. Thank you so much, my friend. Wonderful. I'm shaking your hand because I don't know if we'll see each other again before the video is published. But thank you very much anyway, so...
And we get ours.
And if you need anything, mechanical work, car rental, turning a Mercedes into an AMG, Auto HV, as usual... Well, that's the idea. That's how you look like a millionaire. An E63S for less than 10,000 euros. We'll do the math at the end of the video, like I told you. But overall, it's really not expensive compared to a real E63 or E63S. Sure, we don't have 500 horsepower, but honestly, on our roads, I don't need 500 horsepower. If I could afford it, I'd say something different. But anyway, there are still a few small adjustments left before we can say the car is officially finished, like installing the side skirts. Currently, even the original side skirts are missing. We'll need to add the chrome trim to the new ones, fit the side skirts, and then it will be complete. You can see the back of the car over there is already lowered. Wow, Anthony, you've lowered your car, that's awesome. No, I have air bladders that are leaking because it has air suspension in the rear, which makes the car super ultra mega incredibly comfortable. After 500,000 kilometers, the air leaks a bit after a few hours. There's no issue while driving, but as soon as you stop... And honestly, it's not great. On the other hand, it lets you focus on one thing. Ride height too high, way too high. Ride height, wow, wow. Maybe a little too low, slightly like a centimeter too low. But imagine the car lowered like that at all four corners. It's freaking sexy. What do you think, Archie Papa?
I don't think anything. I'm a dog.
Yeah, so, well, there you go. That would be really super mega awesome. And actually on this side, well, that's where the real leak is. And after a few hours, well, the tire is right up in the fender. It's really cool. And maybe in a few years, we'll have a real R kit in the front, in the back, and 20-inch VSKF wheels, I don't know. Because for now, the idea, the concept is just to make a nice car. A nice daily capable of towing, but look at this wagon, damn. Towing, the trailer. Because you can imagine a trailer behind my E63S with the 505 on it, or the RS3 drift car, so second Mercedes with this body kit. If you haven't seen it, check out my video series on this build. It's awesome. Imagine how the convoy would look. It's wild. Anyway, side skirts, license plate. Because, well, I drove like that to bring it back from Vartan's place, but that's completely illegal. Yeah, but it looks so good, so I'll have to put on the license plate holder and the plate, and of course fill in this little hole. Next, there will be a number of adjustments to make on the car. I won't necessarily film them because you don't really care, like changing the taillight. Because, as I showed you in episode 1, this one was fixed with hot glue, and honestly, it looks pretty ugly. Or, for example, modifying the rear diffuser to fit the tow ball, which is currently not possible at all. Because of this air diffuser that wasn't on the original car. I won't film that either because nobody really cares. What do you think, Archie? You don't care. Anyway, I've said a lot. Basically, side skirt.
And now, this is the part where you're happy to see a time-lapse when we've already got 50 minutes of video. Fortunately, the editor didn't include the 18-minute 42-second sequence where Anthony tries to install the rocker panel and can't do it because, actually, it's not quite the right model. But he'll explain that to you in the outro of the video after this magnificent space-time jump.
I'm tired, but I think it's over. Yes, I think the challenge has been met because honestly, I really look like a millionaire right now. Anyway, from a distance, a few dozen meters away, I think I really look like a millionaire. Because a car like this, a real E63S, AMG, and S212, so the station wagon version of the E-Class, the facelifted model, like that, yeah, it must have been worth around 150,000 euros. Can you imagine spending the price of an apartment or even a house a few years ago on a station wagon? That's really a millionaire move, I think, or someone who doesn't necessarily have financial responsibilities, but that's another issue. Anyway, for a very keen eye, there are a lot of things that stand out and show that this is not an E63 AMG at all. For example, well, the fact that there's no hydraulics, you see, and here, there's no flat logo. With the radar for safe distances, the adaptive radar, we also don't have the front camera, and we also don't have the rear camera. Anyway, there are a whole bunch of huge details on the outside of the car. And anyway, even if you're not a Mercedes AMG specialist, you quickly realize that with moped brakes, it's not making 500 or 600 horsepower, I don't remember how much it is. And then there are also 2 or 3 other things that make it not believable, like for example the body panel fitment. Indeed, when you look at the grille with that kind of gap between the hood and the grille, you quickly realize that this isn't a 140 or 150,000 car. Euros. So yes, with Vartan we really did the best we could as quickly as possible because after a while we were getting a bit tired of it. So yes, there will probably be more adjustments to the hood, but honestly the rest is really not bad. Except for one thing that really bothers me, and that's the connection between my front bumper and my 2 fenders. It's the same on both sides of the car. Yeah, that bothers me a little because when I bought the complete kit from Tolias Edition, I was supposed to get a bumper and fenders that were compatible with a compatible hood, etc, etc. I admit, at 98% it was 98% perfectly compatible. Some small adjustments were needed, for example, with the side skirts. That's normal, it's a wagon and not a sedan. So we have some extra reinforcement bars. So I had to use the grinder a couple of times, but it's invisible, so no problem. But yeah, that did bother me a bit, because when the bumper isn't screwed to the fender, you can see that it's like 20 wider than the fender. Is there a difference between basic E-classes and AMG E-classes? Is that why the fender differs? I'm not sure. Anyway, the fitment isn't perfect and should be checked again later. But once you forget about those little fitment issues, I have to admit the car is completely transformed. I'm really happy. So a few hours have passed now. It's almost 4 AM on the day the video comes out. Konstantin, really, much love to you. Anyway, so yeah, I did quite a few things off camera, like modifying the side skirts so they would fit properly with the clips, well, the clip mounts, so I could secure them from underneath. The side skirts are attached at the top and bottom with the original clips, just like before. I had to modify them a bit, which I did off camera. I also installed the front bumper ends since they're different, because the bumper is different from the one I had on the car before. I'm putting the original bumper ends back on the back since they're supposedly identical vehicle and I prefer them. They look a bit nicer. These aren't replicas, of course, so the quality is different. And here I added the little Biturbo logo. Why do that, Anthony? You're such a damn poser. Yeah, no, I don't know. Actually, on the AMG 63s from this specific generation, it says V8 Biturbo, by the way. Originally, it was the full V8 Biturbo logo. But I cut it off, and I'm still not putting that on my car. Because honestly, I'm not a liar, and I don't really like guys who put M badges on 316Ds or AMG badges on C180 CDXs. It bothers me a little. For me, those badges should only be on cars with the actual M package. If you added the bumpers and parts yourself and then put on an M badge, that's your choice. Honestly, nobody really cares. It's not like the guys who put M4 badges on 420Ds that I admit is a bit annoying. So yeah, I didn't want to put an E63 AMG badge, I didn't want to fool people. On the other hand, I think the little Biturbo nod is pretty funny because you should know that the 2.2 CDI on the E220 CDI is a Biturbo. There's a small turbo at the exhaust manifold that blows into a big turbo, and that's really cool. That's what allows the car to have a lot of torque at low revs and then a pretty linear response almost all the way up to 5,000 RPM, so I thought that was pretty cool. It's a little reminder of the V8 Biturbo that you usually find on the E63, but since I don't have a V8 and only have the Biturbo, I thought that was really cool. And also, since I have the special fenders, here we have a little embossing that lets you add a small logo, so Biturbo. And honestly, even at the back of the car, the look is terrifying. The rear bumper is huge. We have the 4 exhaust tips that are functional, as you saw in the previous cutaway shots, since there's smoke and condensation coming out from both sides. And for me, that was the most important thing. I didn't want any fake, non-functional exhaust tips. I wanted functional ones. And in the end, removing the mufflers is actually really discreet. The car isn't any louder than stock. You just hear the turbo whistling a little bit, but honestly, it's really discreet, and that's exactly what I wanted. I didn't want a full straight-pipe diesel on a dad wagon. There's no point in that. Except maybe if it's a V6 diesel or bigger, because on the older W200 E-Class models, there were V8 diesels. But yeah, I just wanted something functional and, well, a bit stylish because the goal is to make myself a nice tow car, put the hitch back on the taxi and tow either the RS3 or the 505. And honestly, I think it's kind of a childhood dream to be able to tow my own race cars, in quotes, behind a nice car that I use as my daily driver. I think that's really awesome. So the next steps, obviously for the car, because yes, there will be more steps. I don't know if we'll have a third episode about the taxi, because honestly, I think it's really perfect now. Visually, like this, I can't do better for a daily driver. It's impossible for me, in my opinion, to do better. We have an economical diesel, a 4-cylinder that does about 5.5 liters per 100 kilometers. Honestly, it looks amazing. LED lights, LED headlights, heated seats, a 9-speed automatic transmission. You can tow 3.8 tons with it. It's just perfect, and visually, I really like it. That's it. Now I really have a car that I like. Damn, it's crazy and beautiful. I'm super happy. You see, the only small changes I really want to make in the future are maybe adding, you know, some little comfort options. Like, for example, I don't have blind spot detectors in the mirrors. That could be cool to add, but honestly, the only real modification I have in mind would be to lower the car so it's at this height, like in the back. Currently it's lower due to a pretty decent leak in the air spring, but if I start it, it'll lift immediately. I'll show you. See, I'm not lying to you, the sound is really quiet, and now you should see the back of the car lift up a little. It's not that shocking actually, I admit it's not that shocking. Sometimes I look at the car and it feels really high, but I think it mostly depends on the angle you're looking at the car from. I honestly have no idea. But yeah, no, visually it's not shocking. We have equal space around the wheel, just as I wanted. Anyway, whatever the case, this car has been such a damn pleasure to pick up in Germany, get registered after all the import paperwork, modify and drive. I swear to you, it's a real pleasure. It's just a 4-cylinder diesel, but it's a real pleasure, really comfortable, really economical, great car. By the way, speaking of costs, well, I'll tell you how much it cost me to transform it from the original car to this, from A to Z. So, the purchase price of the car was $4,700 with the paperwork fees, plus the import, the return trip to get back to France. Basically, let's say 5,200 euros. Then, I had to add the rims, so the wheels, the tires, and all that stuff. Since there was that screw up with the wrong rims, we're at around 1,100 to 1,150 euros for the wheels. The tinted windows, I admit that really didn't cost me much at all. all. But a huge thanks to Steve, who did the tinted windows for me once again, and a huge thanks to DG Performance, who gave me the tinted film. So yeah, it really didn't cost me much. That's awesome. It's really awesome to have access to this kind of service, to be able to let the subscribers benefit from it. By the way, don't hesitate. The links to absolutely everyone are in the description. If you need anything in my area, it can be done. I also changed the car stereo to put in something with Apple CarPlay. It cost me 206 euros. We're still talking about modifications. I'm not talking about maintenance. And then the body kit, 2,305 euros, something like that. And then what other modifications were there? Well, the paint job for the body kit. And again, well, I don't know the price because I haven't paid yet. But Vanek really did me a solid because he offered me the labor in exchange for this little bit of publicity. There you go, I'm being fully transparent. There's no point in lying or anything like that. I don't care, I own up to it, I'm really happy. I've been busting my ass for 7 years making videos on YouTube. So I'm really happy to be able to enjoy these few perks, which are definitely not insignificant, but in any case, I'm really happy. Anyway, whatever the case, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe. I'm not sure if there'll be a third episode about this car, but the next YouTube episode is one you've really been waiting for. Me too. We're working on the 505 again. And if everything goes well, I don't know if I should say this, but I want to start the car, make it go forward and backward. Yes, this is not a joke. And if you don't know the 505 look, wait, real quick, let me show you anyway. Peugeot 505, the flagship of French automobiles in the 80s, except I got this thing. And inside I put in a Mercedes engine, the OM 606 3 liters, 6 cylinders turbo diesel, a real turbo diesel, Autotech turbo. That's rated for, I don't know, 6,700 horsepower, something like that, in a Peugeot 505 with a Nissan front axle. If you don't know about the project, you need to join the YouTube channel and check out the playlist. It's amazing to watch. Love you all. Bro, I can't do this anymore.